Good morning, everyone. Once again this week, we're going to have the privilege of reading two Torah portions, Achrei Mot and Kiddushim. Achrei Mot discusses the holiday of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And Kiddushim, the second reading of this week, contains the most important commandment of the entire Torah, and that is love your neighbor as yourself. Perhaps there's a strong connection between the two Torah portions. Our rabbis tell us in Jewish law that Yom Kippur, God can only forgive us for those commandments that we've transgressed against God. But the transgressions against our fellow man, God cannot forgive even on the holiest day of Yom Kippur. But rather, we need to go ask forgiveness from the people that we hurt and we offended. So we see that the commandment of loving your neighbor as yourself is the most important commandment. Because God says you must seek atonement from that person. It's beyond my ability to forgive you for those transgressions. I once saw a bumper sticker in Israel that said, love your neighbor, and then in brackets, even if he's not, and then like yourself. God doesn't tell us to love the neighbors that are like ourselves. The Torah says love every person like yourself, even if they're not like you, because someone else may not be like you, but every human being is in the image of God. And therefore, even if they're not in your image, they're still in the image of God. And therefore, they're one of God's children, and you have to love them just as you love yourself. And that's why there are those who in their prayer books, every morning before they start their daily prayers to God, add a sentence. And they say, I accept upon myself to love my fellow man as myself. Why is that the preparation for prayer? Because when we come to our Father in heaven for his blessings and his protection, the first thing we say, God, I love all your children like myself. And therefore, in the merit of our unity and our love, grant us your love and your blessings as well. This week will be Yom HaZikaron, the day of remembrance for the fallen soldiers in Israel's many wars. And following Yom HaZikaron, Israel will celebrate their day of independence. Now, Yom HaZikaron remembers tragically the over 23,000 soldiers who have fought and defended Israel and gave their lives, and also those who died in terrorist attacks, innocent civilians protecting the land of Israel. And there's a story told about this soldier who died in battle, and the parents were grieving and mourning and sitting shiva for their son, when one of the soldiers' teachers from 4th grade came to pay a shiva call, a condolence to the family. And when the 4th grade teacher came in, the mother said, come with me, I have to show you something. She said when they sent back their son's clothing, his army clothing, they found this piece of paper in his back pocket that was folded and refolded many, many times. And it was from his 4th grade class, from an assignment in 4th grade. And she said, I have to show this piece of paper to you. And what was this piece of paper? This piece of paper was that the teacher one day gave all the students a list of all their classmates and said, write something good, something positive that you like about every single one of the students in your class. And then the teacher collected the assignment and compiled for each student a list of everything that every one of their classmates said about them that they liked, that was good, that was positive, and gave it to that student. Well, this soldier treasured that piece of paper with all the kind words of his friends so much about him that he had kept it with him in his pocket. And even when he died on the battlefield, that piece of paper was one of his most prized possessions that was right with him in his pocket. The greatest kindness and the greatest love we could show another person is to see their good, to acknowledge it, to appreciate it. And that's the greatest gift we can give one another. And therefore the Torah says, love your neighbor as yourself. Treat others as you would want to be treated. Or as Hillel told the convert, if you want to know what Judaism is, don't do unto others what you don't want others to do to you. That's the entire Torah. Everything else is merely commentary on that one commandment. Have a wonderful day.